And we're back. It's Monday.
It's 10:30-ish.
Ish. Well, we are here. It is Monday morning, and it is time to start your day, albeit a few minutes late. If I were to be honest and admit that I didn't actually get out of bed until 10 o'clock, and I took 30 minutes to get ready. And I was still here on time, don't get me wrong, but you know what we're like for gassing. And of course, it is time to start our day. It's time to start everybody's day. And morning, Karen. Hello.
Good morning, Nick. Do you know what? I wondered if you seemed a little bit sleepy, shall we say, this morning. You didn't seem your usual, happy self. I'm thinking something's a little bit amiss this morning. Now I know you're a little bit sleepy.
He's still waking up. That's what it is. Oh, yeah. He's like, I literally, I've moved 6 foot today, other than to the bathroom. But that's the way it is. I was up until about 3 o'clock in the morning working, if the truth be told. Richard's not the only one who whiles away the wee hours. But it is so good to be back with you. Sorry I missed you last week.
That's okay.
Everything is fine and everything is sorted, and I'm sure Mum will be watching, although she's a little bit annoyed about a strange notification on her phone, but that's technology for you.
Yes.
Speaking of technology, we've got a special announcement coming up a little bit later on.
We have.
He's back. But it is good to be back with you, Karen and Richard. It's good to be back with you all.
Yes, well, it's good to have you back with us because I was, but I did have your lovely friend Tony to help me, but I was a bit.
Yes. There you go. Look.
I had to get him out of bed. Well done, Linda. Well done.
Whiling away the wee hours, doing various different things. But yeah, mum is occasionally my alarm clock. It has to be said. Good. She rings me up, and if I don't answer, she rings my other half. But that's just the way we roll in this family. So what have you been up to then, Karen, since we last briefly spoke?
Well, I'm in Lincolnshire at the moment, in a caravan. I've got a different background. Freaked Richard out this morning because my signal was a bit amiss, but it's okay now. Fingers crossed. So I'm in Woodhall Spa, spending some time with my other half, and so that's where I am today. So I haven't done very much this weekend apart from relax, which has been really nice.
Brilliant. Quite right to. We don't take out enough time for our peace and time for ourselves and each other. I think that's really vital.
Yes.
Looking after each other.
Yeah.
Yes,
but
there we
definitely.
are.
Definitely.
We are. But it's yes. And in regards to looking after each other and taking care of each other, please can we all, our healing senders, our thoughtful empaths, our lovers of humanity, please join together and send out your healing thoughts to Deb Clark and her family for healing, upliftment and love decisively, please.
Yeah.
And if anybody joins me on my healing silence, we can all join together and do it all at the same time tonight when we get together. Because we do a healing minute.
Brilliant.
Every day, actually, now. So if everybody wants to join in, we can all send out to. Oh yeah, it's the silent. We call it the silent minute, named after the same activity that was performed during the Second World War. Wellesley Tudor Pole, OBE, started this facility off during the war to get people to gather together, and what I thought his wording sounded like it was from 2023, not 1940. He said, if all those of a spiritual view were to come together to send out thoughts and prayers and focus, depending on their matter of conscience, then we can make a difference to the world. And it gained such popularity. George VI loved it. Churchill loved it. Even FDR, Roosevelt, he loved it. And they all started observing it. All of the military starting observing it. And on the 10th of November, 1940, Churchill arranged for the bells of Big Ben to be played by the BBC over the radio to signal to the nation to join together for a moment of healing and prayer and thought. Now, the weird thing is, I was doing a trance demonstration, and the communicator, Nicholas, who was coming through Cherry Ann, turned to me and said, "We are reminded at this time of difficulty, blah, 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 silent minute, blah, blah, blah." What I didn't realise was, until I'd read, because I'd never heard of it, and neither had anybody else in the room, it started on the 10th of November 1940 being played on the radio. That trance sitting was on the 10th of November 2023.
Oh, that's a bit spooky, isn't it?
And they told me to restart it. So we did. And it's been going ever since. You know, it's been going just over a week now.
And it's needed, definitely needed at the moment. For the people that we know in our own families and friends, in our own circles, but also for the world too.
Yes.
Very much so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if
definitely.
anyone wants to join in, I can certainly. Richard even suggested we could have it as part of the app. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I really, really do.
Absolutely.
I think that would be stunning.
Yeah.
So I could always send what I've done. Everything that I've done is done by the book, as far as his requirements in relation to, audio visual legalities. And no, there's nothing about me walking around in my underwear either. So it's all perfectly good and decent and safe. And it's picking up momentum. And oh, bless you, Elizabeth.
Oh, Elizabeth, we're thinking of you. We're thinking of you.
We are definitely thinking of you, and we know because of experience, not because we're saying it, and because we're random religious folk who've read something somewhere. We know by experience that she will have been greeted and met by those who care for her in the world of spirit. Indeed, we have a conversation starting now.
We have.
We know from experience that she has been met and being looked after, and when she is all sorted and settled in, I'm absolutely certain that she will be coming back to let you know with a vengeance her opinion.
Definitely.
So we will be here for you in the meantime.
Well, we're sending you lots of healing thoughts, Elizabeth, definitely coming from us here at SPTV. So, absolutely. Shall we say some hellos to some other people that join us?
Who else is about? We've spoken to Mother and we've spoken to Elizabeth, and then I went off on a tangent. No change there then. Nolene Parker, all the way from Australia, joins us too. Good morning, Nolene.
Good evening, even.
Yes, good evening to you, Nolene.
Serendipity, lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us as always.
And Sam B, hand pink waving.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Hello, Kelly. Lovely to have you with us. Yes, having. Oh, here's our lovely Clara.
Hi, Clara.
Hello, Clara. Another lovely medium who's a member of the family.
Indeed.
They're here. She's here waiting. Oh,
here's your man. Good morning, Neil.
Morning, Mr. Payne. Nice to see you.
And Pam Stewart says good morning, and we say good morning to you too.
Gorgeous photo, Pam. Looking lovely.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Lucia Oreb. Hi.
Lovely family shot.
Seen many of them.
Hello, Lucia. Hello, Jan. Oh, look, snow and a Christmas tree. Lovely.
It's getting
Lovely.
close.
Yeah, I know.
Chalet Crozier. It's New Year. Can I ask? You can ask what you like. We will be watching out for you.
Absolutely.
We will be watching out.
Absolutely. Hello, Eunice. Lovely to see you, and your gorgeous picture of your lovely dog. Oh, that's nice. That's what this group is all about. Well done.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rebecca Whelan proving it by all of the hearts that she sends.
Yes.
Rebecca always is filled with heart.
Absolutely. And you know what? That's so lovely. If anybody's got any worries or needs healing, all the people here on SPTV, they're on it. You know, which is what I've come to love since I've been here.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
It is that strength in numbers, isn't it?
It is. It is. Ah, Maddie Armstrong, she's here. Well, we're pleased that you're here, Maddie. Good morning.
Welcome,
that
welcome,
coffee
welcome.
looks nice.
Welcome, Maddie. And we've got Kim Byrne. Good morning to you, my dear.
Morning, Susan Ross. Look, more hearts. Oh, lovely. Was that a koala bear by any chance in your picture? Lovely. Lovely.
Yes. And Eva.
Hello, Eva. My lovely friend from Sweden. Oh,
we
so
are
nice to have you with
certainly
us.
represented all over the world today. I think it's wonderful.
Yes. It makes the world a smaller place, doesn't it?
Really, really does.
When we have all these people connecting. So it's
Definitely.
really lovely. It's really lovely. Morning,
just like
Sage
Moon.
Yes.
Good morning. Okay.
Okay. Oh dear, that's all I'm saying.
Face fantastically so. I just didn't realize that people were advertising my other business. Helen Graham, good morning to you.
Quickly change the subject.
And Debbie Hitchcocks. Good morning.
Morning, Debbie. Yes, it's going to be one of those mornings, I feel.
Oh, yeah. There is a troll trying to advertise, as I said, my other business. Please report, block, and remove.
I don't know. Morning, Karen Crane. Nice to see you.
Julie Kane Campbell. Good morning. Carry that heart with conviction there.
Yes, absolutely. Image. Hello, Carrie Cairns. Lovely to see you.
And good morning to everyone else, whether you are selling spiritual joy and upliftment or anything else, you're more than welcome. Or any other, products to bring joy and upliftment, you are most welcome. Hey, come on, you should know by now. I can say things without saying things. That I've spent my whole life doing that. That's one of the things that you learn from a very early age as a spiritualist, among other things. But it is good to see everybody here. Good morning and welcome. Don't forget, please share, like, subscribe, comment, engage. We will be giving messages throughout the show, and of course the way to get yourself a message is get yourself noticed with a rocking comment or a big old heart on your screen. So please do get involved and join in the debate, the conversation. And you can engage in conversation between yourselves as well, because that's going to happen whether we say no or not anyway.
Absolutely.
But it's part of the joy of the SPTV family that we see that going on, the support for each other, the joy for each other. It is one of the biggest boons of SPTV is that community feel. So don't forget, share, like, subscribe, get involved, join in, and we'll be giving messages throughout the show, as well as notices about the app is going through another evolution. which we're going to be talking about later. We've got announcements about the various different shows going on, including a special at the weekend that's going to be quite nice. More about that later. We'll have an update on those beautiful, beautiful oracle cards. Of course, we've got the lovely Kate May with us today. And we've been debating, haven't we, Karen, the topic of conversation.
We have indeed.
Has been directed, of course, from one of the posts that has just been mentioned previous to our saying hello to everybody. Karen,
yes,
how soon is there such thing as too soon for someone to come through from spirit? Because this is the number one question I get asked, and no matter how many times I answer it, the veracity and frequency of that comment does not change. So we're obviously not getting the word out well enough. But how soon is too soon? Is there a too soon? How quickly will spirit attempt to get in touch or let us know they're okay after the transition?
I mean, in my experience, I've heard from various people and had experiences myself where spirit have come through almost straight away. Basically, when it's like when you arrive somewhere, you pick up the phone and say, arrive safely and all is well. And, you know, some people, I mean, I did say to my mum, bless her, I said, Mum, don't worry about coming and saying you're okay. Just come and sort of make my ironing miraculously disappear, because that's what my mum used to do when she used to come and visit me. She'd do all my ironing for me. So I said, don't worry about coming to say you're okay. Just come and miraculously do my ironing. She hasn't done it yet, but I'm living in hope. But you know, my mum, it took her a little while to come through. But I know people that have got messages straight away. And I know people that have seen spirit, you know, to let them know that I'm, even when they didn't know that they'd passed. So, yes, I mean, I think it depends on the person, the situation, and sometimes the recipient as well. You know,
yes,
it depends. If you believe in life after death, and you say to that person that when they transition to say, come back and let me know, then they will. But if they're a little bit unsure, or if they're not believers, or if they're not ready, then I think it depends. And the spirit world are not silly. They know this. So I think it depends on who comes through. I mean, the first really evidential message I got was from my grandfather, who I never met. But the evidence was just overwhelming, that it really sort of like focus my belief in spiritualism after that reading. So I think it varies. I don't know what experiences you've had, Nick, but yeah.
Again, very similar to yourself, and I've had one or two. Obviously, the one that stands out for me most, well, there are two that stands out for me. Really, the very first one, which I wasn't aware of what was going on at the time. When I was a teenager back in the early 90s, I experienced some stuff. And I'll be honest about it. It drove me loopy and I had a massive nervous breakdown and people thought I was crazy. I thought I was crazy. But no, it's fine. That I thought I was going crazy. But the thing is, when I analysed it in the future, when I'd got myself sorted and got myself over it, there was this experience. I was at school. There was this being came into the drama studio, spoke to me, said, "I've just come to have a look and nosy. I'm going to be coming and seeing you again someday."
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay? I don't quite understand. I didn't know what spiritualism or mediumship was at the time. Roll on to when I sit in development, that being that walked through that door, quite literally, arrived in meditation. And I know you. Yes, you do. I'm glad you remember me. I wasn't going to forget, was I? Because it was a weird moment. When we got to know each other as guide and helper and friend, and I was being given more and more details about this individual's life, I was able to ascertain that they actually had passed around about that time, because it was a specific moment that I was able to track down because I was doing work experience and I'd still got all the paperwork for it. So within that week, that individual had only passed away a week before. And then when I come to my dad as a medium who roughly knows what he's doing, I stood in the room with him as he passed, and I saw that transition happen.
Yeah.
And then I went out into the waiting room, and I vividly remember, and I don't think I'll ever lose this image in my head. I'm standing looking out at the view of Cambridge at night through this reflecting window, and I'm feeling a little bit miserable and a little bit down and a little bit sorry for myself. And I stand there, and in the reflection, suddenly Dad walks up behind me and says, "Pull yourself together, you what's it?" in more common language than that, to be honest. Pull yourself together, you've got work to do. And it brought me back to myself, but that was less than 20 minutes. And you're absolutely right. It is about a need. It is about a courtesy to help, not hinder. And quite often I found that the reason that they don't come through is more about us than about them. They are being looked after. They've got all that support around them. They want us to have the same, but they don't want to push it, and they don't want to upset us unduly and unnecessarily. So sometimes they will back off a little bit, but it's more about us than it is about them. Yes, there'll be the occasions when someone's got some work to do, and it's probably a good idea if they just take a time out and take some time to rest. But if they want to come, they'll come. That's the thing that bothers me about the huge attacks that we get from other ways of life. We summon those from the world. No, if anyone gets summoned, it's us. Every day, especially when we're on the loo or in the shower or driving, they summon us to do the work to help heal people. And I think it is essential that we not only recognize that it is about us, that time frame is focused on us as much as anything, but also we are the ones that are summoned, because they do, don't they?
They do. But I was having a conversation with Clara and Neil actually before I came on, But I think we've got to realise they come to guide and support. They don't come to live our lives and do not tell us how to live our lives.
Amen.
And I think that they just come. They're there. We know that they exist, but we've got to carry on. We've got to carry on and do what we're meant to do in this life. And we have to pull our fingers out sometimes to make things happen in our world. And we can't sit down, and somebody's not going to bang on the door and say, "This is all for you. It's been sent with love from the spirit world." The spirit world realise that they give us the motivation within our own spirit to push us forward to live our lives.
Yes.
And that's what we've got to do. I mean, there's sometimes I love the synchronicity of things. I love that when you meet people and when things happen, and sometimes you think, is it fate? And maybe the spirit world have a say there, or maybe it's our own our own spirit that is charging that forward as well. Because I think we forget that we are spirit in a physical body here, and we have to live our life and trust our spirits, trust ourselves. And that's what the spirit world come in to say. And all the readings that I've received and all the readings that I've done over the years, they will not say you must move to Australia, you must leave your job. They say it's up to you, but we are here to support you, whatever choice you make. I mean, I said to Neil and Clara today, I've made some stupid decisions in my life. But I've accepted those decisions and I've picked myself up from them, dusted myself down and think, okay, what's the next chapter of my book? What's the next chapter of my story? And I accept that sometimes head rules heart or heart rules head. And sometimes I can actually see my mum and dad standing there going, oh, Karen, what have you done now?
Yeah.
But, like when they were here, my mum would sit me down. She'd make me one of her famous meals. Let's talk it through. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can help. But they don't tell us what to do.
Amen. And I am 1,000,000% with you. It frustrates me sometimes that in one hand we've got people going on about personal responsibility, and then on the other hand saying, but Spirit told me. You know, we do have, the idea is to have as many strings to our bow to help us live this life.
Yes.
And if we do not take that responsibility, yes, it's great to have some extra support. It's great to have some direction and pointed, as you say, but we really, we really do have to. One of the other arguments, of course, is that we are obsessed with death. The first thing I learned about spiritualism is that we are obsessed with life.
Yes,
and it is
absolutely.
through that guidance that we can live a better one. But there is a fine line, and sometimes it can become too obsessive that we spend all of our time talking to them up there and not actually enacting any of this guidance and advice.
Absolutely. We've got to go out and live our.
It is a fair. Richard just made a comment, and I think that's a really, really important thing. I have known people who have sat in church because I get to chair, a group. I get to see these messages, and there have been times when every week there's been same people sitting there, and there'd be this one person, and I think for about 10 weeks this went on in the example I'm thinking in my head. For about 10 weeks, they got the same message, the same advice from 10 different mediums.
Yep.
And at the end of the 10 weeks, the person who was getting it, they're ascended now, bless their heart. They come up to me and they said, I'm not so sure about spiritualism anymore. And I said, why? What's up? Said, I've had the same message every week for the last 10 weeks, and it still hasn't happened. And I said, what? Well, they keep telling me that everything's going to be all right, and that so long as I do this, this is going to happen. I've been waiting 10 weeks for it to happen, and it still hasn't happened. I said, well, did you take the advice? Because to be fair, I always say, we can take the advice or not. It's their opinion. But when you've got 10 mediums sharing that same opinion and same instruction that they think will be beneficial to you, you really ought to start listening. So have you done that? Well, no. No, I haven't. And yet they're moaning that Spirit haven't made it happen for them, but they haven't taken that personal responsibility to make it happen. And I've seen it before on so many different levels. We need to be focused on life and living.
We do. Absolutely. We have to, if I say this when I've got students in my classes, I say that if you, the gift is there, but it's up to you if you want to use it or not. We've all got, if somebody said to you, Nick, you should write a book. If you didn't pick up that pen and get writing, it wouldn't happen. It's the same with everything. The spirit world don't cast magic spells over us. We have to find that momentum. We have to find that belief in ourselves, and they try to give us that belief, that momentum. I mean, what I was told many years ago, I was given a reading, and they said, that you could do mediumship. And I went, sorry, pardon? Me? I don't think so. But then I thought, well, hang on a minute, maybe I can. So I started to push myself a little bit further. I was doing healing, and I started to push myself further within mediumship. And lo and behold, it started to pay off. I started to do some more study, and then I became a medium. But if I'd have just sat there and thought, no, I can't, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I am with you, and it is always that risk, isn't it? It's always a very fine line. It really,
it
really
is.
is.
It is.
But there's always that risk that we spend too much time listening and not enough time acting. And I think that's a shame, because that's certainly not the message that any spirit person that I've worked with or for or through or been given from would say, just do as you're told, and everything will be all right. It's a case of, you do this, you do that, you do the other, get your finger out, you'll be fine.
We have to. It's to do with a lot to do with our heads as well. And I know Clara's on here today, and she talks about this all the time. We've had conversations, but if it's like I always remember this, and I've said this before. When we went to my son's school, when he was joining the infant school, I'll never forget this. The head teacher said, "Why is it we always say, oh, when your child comes home from a test, your spellings or times tables, oh, you got one wrong. They could have got 9 right, but we always focus on the thing that is wrong, and not the 9 that are right." Do they not, Richard? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Richard's just saying that the rules have changed a lot. In actual fact, one of my circle, Jen, she was telling me, because she was a teacher, they're not allowed to use the red pen for marking anymore.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
I used to enjoy seeing the red pen, actually, because I just didn't. Maybe that's why I didn't get the degree.
But it puts it in.
So
okay.
So gonna say, but yeah, that is the thing. But I know that there's been so many comments. I've been seeing them come up along the way, and even use some to direct the conversation, as we do. But I know there's been a lot of mutual agreement regarding, the pace at which people can come through from the world of spirit. I'm glad it's paused there, actually, because I do want to talk about Elaine's comment here. I'm just going to read it out for everyone. One situation I will never forget is the last message of the night, where the medium said, "I have a trans." Sadly, a young man took his life on the Sunday and came through to us on the Thursday. He wanted to be female and struggled so much with that journey, bless him. He came to a young girl in the audience, aged 15 years, and it was one of those nights to remember. I just wish his loved ones knew about our work. They have raised thousands of pounds for mental health. All I've got to say is, they may not know, and we were actually discussing this yesterday, about the influence and the loop of connection with spirit. They may not know about this life, but they certainly will have been impacted by it, because spirit don't always need a medium. We are all mediums in our own right. We all are mediumistic in our own ability. And the idea that spirit can direct and influence their loved ones, not necessarily known, is truly an uplifting feeling. And as you were talking about focusing on the negative instead of the positive, and Chris has just said we focus on the negative instead of the positive. Let's focus on the positive at that comment, that this individual was able to let people know that they are still around. They were able to get in touch with someone who may be in contact with the family. But from what I'm reading, the family are raising thousands of pounds for charity to help people. I know that individual will have been pulling strings and dropping hints, because we don't always need mediums to get the message across from the world of spirit. They
No?
are far cleverer than that. We are a useful tool to them, but they are far cleverer than needing, you know, us to do their bidding. And they can influence our train of thought. They can make us see and not see things. I remember once I took a wrong turning on the way to a demo. I completely missed the turning that I was supposed to take. But when I got back round, because I had to do a loop-de-loop and take an recalculating. You know, when I'd recalculated and got back to where I should have been, there was a car accident there. You know, but I was completely blind to that road, and spirit can influence us. Because we all have that inherent ability. This gift of God to communicate with spirit is ingrained within all of us. It is available to all of us. It is whether or not we have a choice or an opportunity to develop and grow that. But on the core basic level, everyone can ring and text. It just depends whether you upgrade to 5G.
I
Yeah.
Okay.
So
no,
I hope that kind of adds to the I can't remember the name of the commenter, but I hope that just adds to your feeling, because that Elaine, thank you, Elaine, I hope that helps you, because I know that there's that feeling of concern of, does his family know? Does their family know? Yes, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
I love it. I love it when the spirit world come through and they give a message to somebody that knows somebody that needs the message as well. I think that's also help. And yes, Amor says energies everywhere, and they will utilize these energies, i.e., nature, animals, and so forth.
Absolutely. We're all part of the grand design after all.
Yeah. You know, our animals give so much love. Yes, absolutely. So, with that in mind, shall we do readings?
Absolutely. Do you want to go first this time?
Okay. Do you know what? As I was sitting here and I read that comment from Elaine, I was getting a little bit emotional. And I've got a lady that draws close to me here. And I feel really, really emotional. And I know that she's a mum. And I don't feel that she's actually been gone. I'm getting 18 months to 2 years here. And I just feel that she just wants to come in to say hello to her daughter. So would anybody understand a mum that has been gone about 18 months to 2 years? And I feel there was issues around her chest. I feel there was also cancer. I want breast cancer, but I'm not sure if that actually took her. But I know that breast cancer was involved here. I just feel she's just really, really emotional. So I know that this connection with her daughter was extremely strong. I feel they did a lot together. They spent a lot of time together, especially on the phone. If they didn't see each other, they were on the phone. It just reminded me of the connection that I had with my mum. So does anybody understand this at the moment? If you can, just put the comments up, and then Richard will show me. Does anybody understand this yet? We've got a lovely mum here that wants to connect with her daughter. Okay. I know Elaine's name is up there, and when that first comment came up, Elaine, would you understand this at all? Would you understand a mum in the spirit world that is I feel it's a mum, Sage Moon, but thank you for commenting, but I do feel it's mum. I do feel that's quite strong here. So if somebody has got a mum in the spirit world, that would be if you can she's got a cracking sense of humour as well. And I did feel a little bit drawn to Elaine. So Elaine, if you're still there, if you can just put a comment on to see if you can understand your mum in the spirit world. But I just feel that I do feel there was a little bit of confusion also before she passed, I feel that she'd put things down and forget where's my phone, where's my keys, that sort of thing. If that makes sense. Can anybody understand this at the moment? Carrie can understand stepmom. Okay, that's fine. I'm a stepmom, Carrie, so we have that strong connection with our stepdaughters. So that's lovely. So okay, 18 months to 2 years, Kelly. That's what I said. I do feel that this lady liked to look good. I feel that she did. She liked her. She liked a little makeup, a face cream. I do feel that she liked to look good when she went out. And I feel that she was a little bit of a lady that liked to be quite coordinated as well when she went out too. And you two used to have a lot of conversation about clothes. She'd always come with you, and you would always come her. Okay, so you don't understand this, but did have a very good friend with cancer. Does Carrie still understand this? Good. Okay, so Carrie, all right, lovely, yeah. Lovely. So I just feel that you'd sort of say, oh, and she'd say to you, oh, that looks nice. Oh, I like that. And you'd talk about, you could talk about, different shops and different places that you would go to. Would you understand the shop Jane Norman, Carrie? Because I've just got Jane Norman in my head here. And I just feel that Jane Norman was a shop that you would used to go in, and there would be a large shopping centre that you would wander around on a Saturday, and you'd spend all day shopping. And now she's taking me into Debenhams, so I feel Debenhams would have been a shop where you would have gone and tried all the makeup samples as well. Makeup and looking good was really important here. She's just got a great sense of humour, but I feel, she said, what you noticed when she started to slow down a bit was that she couldn't shop all day. She's laughing because she said, I used to have to sit down. Right, okay, you understand that. And I feel I'm with Carrie. Yeah. So she had to sit down and get her breath, but I still feel she tried to carry on. She tried to go out shopping with you still, because she didn't want that momentum. She didn't want it to get the better of her. And I'm feeling that she was really, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to get rid of it. And she was such a force to be reckoned with. Now, would you also understand there must have been, I'm not sure if she had a thing about hats, especially when she was undergoing treatment, because I feel you'd go and try not the funny hats, but you'd try all the hats on in Debenhams and say, what does this look like? And you'd do funny poses. This is what she's making me aware of. And I do feel there must have been some funny photos taken of the two of you, pulling faces and laughing, because this is what she wants. She wants you to remember the good times. She doesn't want you to focus on the sad times. And would you also understand a teddy bear? Because she's just showing me this small teddy bear. All right, you understand the hats. This small teddy bear, and I don't know if it's an old teddy bear that you had, but she's showing me this teddy bear. And I feel that you understand it. And I feel it was put somewhere. I don't know if it was put somewhere in a box, or if it went with her, or you've still got it. But I know this little teddy bear is important. She just wants to send you a great deal of love, and she wants you to keep your chin up. And she's saying, don't let people get you down. And I know we're coming into Christmas, and I do feel the end of December, just after Christmas, is a date for the anniversary or a passing or a birthday. And I want to say around the 29th of December, around there. And I feel it's a birthday. So she's just so proud to call you her daughter. And she wants me to sort of emphasize daughter, because to her, you were her daughter, and she wants to send you a lot of love. So take her love.
Wonderful. Oh, that was amazing. What a lovely way of reaching out there. That was excellent.
Thank you.
I hope that was all right for you, Carrie. I'm sure it was. Well, my turn.
Yes.
I do actually have I've had someone with me. Absolutely, really, this is strange. I think I've never experienced this, in nearly 30 years. The communicator was avidly interested in what you were saying. And wasn't so much interested in talking to me or connecting with me, but was just absolutely engrossed. And it's that kind of personality that would become very magnetized to individuals or situations or peoples, and was just absolutely hypnotized by your voice. And he was really, really enjoying listening to you talk. And when you stopped, it was like, oh, what a shame. So I'm sure he will hang around all day now. We've got another viewer, but can't comment. And this gentleman, as he is with me, I'm struggling with age, and there's a lot I'm struggling with this gentleman actually. But I've got a sneaking suspicion I know why, because one of the sensations that I'm feeling, and this is really, really weird, and I've only had it a couple of times, but it feels strange around my head. It feels slightly imbalanced, and the sensation of there's a chunk missing, but I feel that's emotional, not literal. So I do feel that there would have been a condition of the brain that would have meant that part of the brain itself was either not functioning properly, may well have been an operation where something was removed. But I just know that there is this part of me that feels like it's not there. But he is absolutely adamant that it doesn't matter, because I don't. He's even joking about it, saying, it's like, oh yes, of course, the Yellow Brick Road, Dorothy. I don't have a brain. He doesn't care. I don't need one. I don't need anything. And he's just laughing and joking about his physical condition now, which really seems strange to me, especially one that would have been so, difficult and debilitating. And I keep getting this joke about this chin tickler. And he's talking about this beard that's a bit of a chin tickler. Yeah, absolutely. Dementia is one possible condition that would be related to that. Vanessa says my husband had a brain tumor. Would you understand, Vanessa, why I keep calling a beard a chin tickler? I don't know whether it's his or someone that he's making fun of. But I do feel this emotional connection where I'm coming through. And it's someone who would have been absolutely fascinated by people, would have been absolutely fascinated by Karen, and was taking such huge interest and just joy at watching her talk and work, and would have been like that with people. Loved to see people's successes. I know there's a couple of people who've come on and made a few comments. Vanessa, the original one that I was first drawn to, he keeps calling it his chin tickler, and it's really quite annoying. And now I can accept it. I can tell him to just take it away. Vanessa, would you understand, if I may, that he was someone who was interested in other people's successes, was fascinated by people who just had something to say. I do feel that although he was very much of his own mind and his own opinion, especially with what happened to him, there was times when he wasn't able to express himself as well as he would have liked. He was exactly like, thank you, Vanessa. If I may, your husband is an absolute darling to work with. He gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling. There is such a gentleness and kindness of soul here. There are very few times where I have felt so relaxed and so content in my own body. And I know it's only temporary, because this is the feeling he's giving me. But that feeling of contentment and calm and serenity, it's almost like he was Zen and is Zen. It really is. And he's taking the mick out of me now, and he's saying, "I'm not shaving my head again." You know, he's okay. He says he's seen in my head what I looked like with a bald head. He says, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it." So there's this humor about it too, and it's not a nasty teasing humor. It's one of those really affectionate teasing humors, you know, where he could get away with saying whatever he wants, basically, because of that feeling of warmth and serenity and joy at just being able to be here and look upon your name on the screen and know that you are hearing the words that he is passing on, because he's just absolutely over the moon. I do know, as well as that condition, I keep I keep getting this strange sensation in my neck, that's preventing me to speak as clearly as I would want. Again, this is about his ability. No, thank you. He corrects me on that. He's talking about an inability, but he corrected me and said there is a failure to communicate. And I feel that this is either related to when he was passing, or there is something going on around you at the moment, Vanessa, where there is a failure to communicate. And he just keeps reminding me of this warm sensation, this feeling of joy and peace and serenity washing over. And it's almost like he's thank you, it's not almost, it is, he keeps correcting me as well, and in such a nice way. Had to get, because of the huge patch. Oh, bless you, of course. This feeling is just so overwhelming, and he wants you to know that if you sit and invite, you will feel it too. And it's, Vanessa, I've got to say, you are very lucky to have had someone this sweet in your life. And I don't say sweet very often, because occasionally it can come over as quite saccharine and quite cheesy. But you know what I mean by sweet. He was generous and kind and loving and thoughtful, and made you feel good just by being in his presence. And he still can, because here comes that humor and that adamantness, that joy. I still can. I'm not gone. I'm still here. I can make you feel it without even having to say a word. And there's this real joyful optimism and naughtiness about that statement. I can make you feel it and not even say a word anymore. And so I'm still here. I'm still willing you to move forward in your life, to carry on fighting, to be that strength. Oh, I just to save myself from getting done for copyright, I've got a funny feeling he would have liked poetry, because I keep getting Tennyson, that strength which moved earth and heaven, that which you are, you are. And he's applying that to you, Vanessa, which is a beautiful way of saying, yes, I might have been amazing. Thank you. And that was his response when you said, yes, he was an amazing man. He says, I might have been amazing. Yes, I might have been. And he, so I don't think he took compliments that well. But you are too. And you are a strength and a force to be reckoned with, that made us such an amazing alliance. And we still are. So I will watch and I will rest with you, and I will give you those moments of peace and serenity, so that you are ready to fight the good fight and make a difference to those around you like you want to. And with that, he just sits here. Okay. He's just gone over and sat on the edge, because I work in my room. He's just gone over and sat on the edge of the bed, and he's put his hands and he's saying, I could sit here and give you a medal. I could sit here and give you a flower, and I could sit here and give you a big old cake, but none of that makes a difference. What I give you is my heart and my soul, as I already did once promise to do so. And I know you will know that I am here to help you, and I will never leave your side whilst you need me there. And so I will say, God bless. Thank you for listening, and hope that helps.
Oh, wow, Nick, that was beautiful. I'm sure Vanessa will get comfort and help from that. That was really, really emotional. I could feel that love. Feel that love.
You know, that beautiful level of serenity and calm is like an instant Zen boon. Lovely, lovely man. Lovely, lovely man.
Oh, wow. Lovely.
So
nice.
We are just coming up to 11:30, so it's time for that gorgeous creature, that wonderful lady, that exponent of spiritualism, the lovely Kate May. So for the first time today, and I know you did so well last week, I was so proud of you when I watched on playback.
Thank you.
Karen,
Thank you.
What time is it?
It is time for Kate May, and it's time for Roland Richard. Yeah, I know.
Good morning, everybody. Here is your week ahead tarot readings from myself, Kate May, Modern Day Mystic, for each zodiac sign. We're going to look at Aries, 20th of November. Aries, this week you're going to need a bit of strength around you. You might have to be careful about how you say things, what you say. And
you know what we're like, so plug and tweak and prod and remind as the time goes by. I trust you.
So the time goes really quick.
We
really does on here.
The energy around
we need you to cut us off sometimes, mate.
You know, tactful energy. Don't scream and shout, throw your toys out the pram. It's all about.
Actually, I can only see the seconds on the clock.
Manner this week. That will give you your power.
Because I don't care, because I can see the text better. The further away my laptop is, the worse my eyes are. So in that actual position you've got it, I can just about see Karen. I can just about see Kate with her card as we speak now. So I can see the live output and see what's going on, but I can also see the text beautifully as well. So you know, I'm happy.
Gemini,
I mean, it's fine as it is, but that is a little bit better. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Gemini, you might be having a bit of a
text being big
moment
is useful for me, because the further away it is, the smaller it is, the worse my eyes are. Apparently, I'm going to have mid-range vision.
It's like you're saying no, and then all of a sudden
I've got to have 3 pairs rather. I can't even get away with not losing a pair of when I've got 2. Let alone
try not to spend too much time in your mind.
I have to have mid-range.
Get out and about, take an opportunity, even if you don't feel like it. Cancer, a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. Try not to carry too much more. Ask for help, delegate where you can, but keep on going. You're almost at the end, high and dry there. Even if it does feel like pressure, even if this week does feel a bit heavy and you've got lots of things on your mind, don't add to that, but keep on going. You're almost there. Leo, making plans this week, Leo. The sun is shining for you, even if it's not outside. There is plans ahead, there is commitment ahead, there is exciting opportunities coming up for you, Leo. This is all about committing things to the next level. You've come so far, you've reached a good milestone. This week you're going to start to see opportunities opening up for you. Good news is coming for you, Leo, this week, allowing you to make future plans, especially for next year. Virgo, look at the cup half full, not half empty. This is a classic card of feeling a bit low, feeling a bit down if things don't quite go your way. However, if you spend time looking at that, that's just how you're going to end up feeling. But you've got a choice to turn around and see the beauty in things and count your blessings and see the good stuff that is around you, the good opportunities around you. Don't waste time on what's already lost and gone. Turn around and start making better choices and things happening. Libra. Balance of money coming around you, Libra. If you need a loan, or if you're after some financial advice and help, you're going to be getting it here. Your finances and anything to do with your time, your values, there's a lot, but it's going to be easier energy. It's going to be better balance for you. You might find that you're given a lot, But if it's too much, you need to take a little bit back, okay? So be mindful who you help. They need to help themselves. You're not a charity case, all right? Libra, find the balance around a financial situation, but the vibe is that there is help on its way for you. Scorpio, hard week of working, Scorpio. Roll your sleeves up, get things done, pay attention and prioritize things. This is like finishing projects, finishing things off, putting all your eggs in one basket. Don't be too scattered, Scorpio. There are important things to crack on with this week, so you don't need any distractions. You just need to focus, carry on, and you'll get the results that you want. It's hard work, but it will be worth it. Sagittarius, teamwork comes in. Teamwork is going to be much better for you than doing things on your own. There is success with others here. Education may favour for you this week, and anything to do with collaborations is going to be very good, Sagittarius. Capricorn, Queen of Pentacles, you're on top of your money this week, Capricorn. You're feeling more organised. If this is a week where you can do anything and manage anything, this is it. Aquarius, the Hermit. Take some time out this week. I'm going to die. Take some time out this week, Aquarians, to think about what it is that you really want. Your hopes and dreams, they're all in a little box. You've not done a lot about that. So now this week is the time to really think, how can I achieve this? How can I do that? It's all there for you, but you need a bit of quiet time, a bit of time of contemplation to think about what it is you really want going forward. Meditation will be really good for you. Pisces, things are turning in your favour. A chance needs to be took. Action is coming. Change is inevitable, but it's going to take things from one stage to another in a more positive way.
We're back. Hello.
We are here. Hello.
There we are. You see the wonders of modern technology. Even the spirit world thinks that I shouldn't shut up, as opposed to what Chrissy says. So thank you all for your patience while I was talking about my mid-range view and not being able to see the screen. Yeah, and there was a wonderful comment there actually a moment ago about it's nice to see what goes on behind the scenes. Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. That was a mild one. I just thank God that it wasn't last week or the week before, because it could have been worse. But yes, it's one of those things. We apologise for you not being able to hear Kate, but it was a bit funny, weren't it? It was a bit amusing. Speaking of technology, though.
Oh, yes.
That app. I downloaded it over the weekend and had a play.
Oh.
And yes, Joe Dan Edwards Shopland, important of clarity, good communication and teamwork. Absolutely. Stacey.
You ought to do the outtakes.
Yeah, do you know, I keep joking that we should, but we really probably should. But that app, I downloaded the SPTV app over the weekend. Now I know you're going to be a bit miffed with me.
Why?
Because you can't download it.
Oh,
because you're
absolutely.
on Apple.
I was just about to say it's okay for some.
It's okay for some. I love the app. I think it's amazing. But I also know what Richard's like, and you summed it up when he told us this news we're about to share.
Yes.
Here we go. Richard's been tweaking because, of course, it is in the beta test stage. And in order to give a fuller view, because, there's some really great stuff he fired at us, and I did write it down as we went along, but it's better coming out of the mouth of
the one and only.
The one and only. So as we call out into the ether for that voice in our ear, Richard, are you there?
No.
Good
morning, everybody.
Good morning, mate. How are you?
I'm very well, very tired. But
I'm not surprised.
Long hours trying to get this app and getting very frustrated and shouting and screaming and saying, come on, spirit, help, sort of thing when things don't work. And it's like, have a break, and then you've just put a comma in the wrong place and the script doesn't work. You know what it's like. So I've actually changed it. So how are you two? And yet again, as Nick said, apologies for the little blip there. Don't understand why the mics were still on. That's the first time, I believe, on SBTV that's ever happened.
Technology happens, though, and you know what? I actually accredit to SPTV the community that you have built, the fact that it was taken in,
that's include the viewers.
Sorry, yes. Oh, yes. The if you allow me to finish the sentence, I was going to. Yeah, okay. The community that you started building that has been made what it is by the community. It's a good, indication of what this community is like, that it was taken in such good part, and the joy and laughter that it inspired rather than the negativity. Like for instance, Chrissy, no, it doesn't exclude you, because I wouldn't expect you to say anything less. But one addition to this community building, of course, is the app that you've spent the wee hours sitting up, swearing and regenerating. You've made some tweaks, haven't you?
I have, yeah. And I just want to say thank you to everybody all the comments coming in saying good morning, and Jo sending her lovely comments. So thank you very much for the encouragement and a lovely welcome. Yes, as I mentioned last week, that it's the first time I've ever designed and built a app. Never done it before. It's my first time. But as you gain knowledge, you start to experiment, you start to tweak and start to play. And so I've been playing with the software and the app to get it going. So this is an exclusive that everybody is going to see the brand new look, the brand new features. So I'm going to spend a few minutes explaining what we're going to do. And the good thing is the old app has actually been approved by Google to go live.
Hey!
But now I'm changing it. So this one has to now be approved before it gets released to the public. But we're still in beta test, or beta, as some people were saying. I think they say that in Australia, don't they? Beta testing. So yeah. So you can see it as well. I've got to now tweak around a few things.
And this will be the first time for me, because yes.
There you go.
Looky.
Oh, look at that.
So
yes.
That's the new look homepage, as we call it. So when you go in, you've got our typeface, which has been designed by myself. Then you have Watch Live, the schedule, card today, presenters, a new edition directory, a new edition called Wellness, and at the bottom there's a banner, so that tells you what's coming up on the day, what's on tomorrow, and so forth, right in front of you. Then at the bottom you have the home, the VIP, the hands, which I'll explain about in a moment, and the sptv logo. At the top you have like a little share icon and a cog icon. The cog icons will tell you about that in a moment as well. So let's start off with the Watch Live. By any means, if anybody's got any other ideas for the app, what you would like to see implemented, it is going to be free for everybody to use. So please give us your feedback. Tell us what you'd like, and this is your opportunity. The app is designed for you. So yeah. In fact, I think I showed Stace on Sunday behind the scenes of how the app works and functions, and I'll let her tell you what she said. So anyway, so when you click on the live watch now, you will get a new feature that I've added. Before it was just you just watch what was on currently on the live. So I've now done it. So when you watch the live, what you get now is a feature where you have the live at the top, and then it will show you the previous 7 days what's been live as well. So you can just click on that and watch previous shows. The only downside to this, it doesn't allow you to comment. I'm still working on that. That'll probably be in a later one, but I haven't got the knowledge to do that yet. But so the idea is then you can just watch the show. So if the show's already gone or whatever, you can go back and watch it without going onto YouTube or onto Facebook. It's there and then as it is. Okay, so that's the live. Another feature that we have is, so if you want to know what's going on, you can look at our schedule. So it will actually jump to the page on when it's live. So if it was Thursday, it would jump to Thursday, as you can see. And then you've got the little arrows there. You click on that and that gives you additional information about the show. So that's there as well. And then what we're offering is something called card of the day. So you can go in and you can pick up to 6 random cards, and then it will show you, it will, sorry, not show you, it will then pick a random card out of 30, or was it, no, 40, sorry, out of 40 cards out the SBTV Divine Guiders pack. And it will just play a video for you, and the video will actually look like that. So as you can see, this was screen grabbed this morning through my testing, and so it'll tell you about the card. This one is Dreams, and you have a play, pause, and a seek button, plus how long the video actually goes on for. But because it's card of the day, it'll only play it once, so you can't go back later on and think, oh, I'll have another go. It doesn't work. You have to wait until the following day, okay, for it to work. So that's the new look for the card of the day. Something I've just introduced is called the directory. I'm not sure if you'll know, but the SBTV has a completely free directory, so you can go on, type in your postcode, and it'll find your nearest medium, your nearest church, your healer, or whatever. It's 100% free. There's no yearly fees or anything like that, and it's free to anybody to register, put their details on, upload videos, audio, pictures, write about yourself, sell products. It's all 100% free. And you just go in and do it. If you get stuck, give us a shout. So it's integrated in with that, so you can actually type in a word, and let's say, for example, Deb Clark, for example, or look for spiritual mediums. You can filter it out. Let's say select category, so you can drop the category down and say search for mediums, search for healers, search for spiritual centers, and so forth. And then the results will come back like so. And yet again, you'll have something like more, so it'll tell you what you've searched for, and also tell me how many listings. So for example, we've used Deb Clark here as an example. You click on more, it gives you information about the individual or the centre, and if it's to do with a show, it'll tell you more about the show as well. Okay, so that's there. Nearly there, everybody.
Exciting.
Please bear with me. Something I've just introduced, so that's a new feature. Something else I've just introduced is the wellness section. Now, the comments at the top, it would say like, good morning, my friend. So if it's in the evening, it say good evening. And if it's like after 12 o'clock, it says, while you're still awake, go to bed, or something like this. You know? But we've added affirmations, spiritual poems, mindful meditations, and reflections. So when you click on each section, it will then give you free affirmations per day. It will give you random poems, mindful meditations. You can actually go down the list and select what type of meditation you want. The idea for that section is for anybody who wants to get involved. So if you, like, for example, I know Nick does meditations, and Karen, so you might see their face saying a meditation by Nick, and it'll say like 10 minutes long or whatever the case. You won't be visual, it'll just show a picture, and it'll be audio only. So yet again, that section is completely free. Reflections is more about looking at your own life. Makes you thought-provoking ideas. Very similar to affirmations. Affirmations more so positive, get you in a positive mindset. The reflections is reflecting on your life and how you're dealing with things. So that's like video clips with audio and pictures to make you thought-provoking sort of things.
Ooh.
After the wellness, we have something called the spiritualism section. So it tells you about what is spiritualism, the principles, the clairs, and additional information about spiritualism, the beliefs, and so forth. So that's that section there.
I assume there will be a spell check before you go live.
Yes. Yeah. Shut up. This is in beta. Absolutely, yeah, I did see it. Then you have the SBT features, so you tell a bit about SBTV, how long it's been going, and the history. Our social media links. Then we have the directory listing, the event listings, the online magazine, and the media designs. All the 4 sections that we offer, yet again, free of charge to our viewers.
Wow.
That is brilliant. Those last 2 editions are amazing.
Yeah,
really
so
are.
We're nearly there.
That's absolutely mind-blowing, you know.
Yeah.
We have a brand new section called Become a VIP, so it's easier for you to click on and donate, because we're not charging for this. If we start setting costs, Google clearly state there are certain terms and conditions we have to abide by. So to reduce the amount of terminology and so forth, we've decided to take that away and link to a additional page, so that you click on that and it bounces you to another page to tell you how you could kindly donate to keep this all free. And then lastly, we have about the app version, how you can contact us directly, the privacy and the terms, which is a legal requirement through Google. So that's there. So that, everybody, is the app.
Bravo.
Do you know what? How amazing is that?
I believe, and this is where I hope all our viewers can now get involved. I've done a lot of research on the App Store and on was it Google Play Store, isn't it? And then the App Store on iPhone. And I have not found anything to do with spiritualism whatsoever. Now, I could be wrong. I haven't done an intense search. I spent like 2 hours going on both, like an hour each on both platforms. And I couldn't find it. It was all to do with psychics, tarot cards, astrology, pay for this, pay for that. And I thought, people can't really afford it. They still need this. And there's lots of affirmations out, and there's some brilliant ones out there, but you've got to pay.
Yeah.
So the idea was to put it all in here, and it's to completely free. I've just seen Sam B's comment. Let me just pause that. Where'd it go? How about somewhere to send messages to spirit? Now, we actually did speak just before the show that we were going to actually add in an area called remembrance and healing, so people can then log in. Obviously, all messages will be delayed because they have to be checked in case we get any spammers or trolls, and you'll have to go to an additional website to fill it in, because yet again, if you do it in via the app, then we have to change the terms and conditions with Google, and then all legal things start happening, which we're trying to
GDPR and all that sort of thing. Yeah.
So the idea is that you go to a page, you log in, you can submit some healing thoughts about someone, you can submit some remembrance, so you can upload, if you want to do a picture when they passed and their name and a little message. So that can be played. So that's one way, is that. And the app is just called the SBTV app. That's the Spiritual Psychics TV app. That's what it's going to be called. I'm hoping I should be finished by next week to launch it officially on the show. And after that, we then have to wait for Google to approve it, which usually takes about 4 or 5 days. And once that's it. Stay safe. What about Be on the Show application? Yes, under the contact section, which I have not placed, there is a section on there where there's a Q&A where you can click on there and say, my apps keep crashing, or this doesn't work. And one of them is about being a member of SBTV, joining the showcase or being a host. So that's on there as well.
Wow.
So,
Got to say, it looks amazing.
It does look amazing. Really so professional, Richard. Well done, you. Honestly.
Absolutely. And when you first turn it on, there's that little animation with the SPTV logo coming on.
Oh.
It's like, this is pro. This is gorgeous. This is making us look as a way of life, professional and with it, which I think is often missing. And from Richard's perspective about his belief that it's the first that does all of this, as anyone who's been on the Google store lately, you can't download many apps where you don't stop every 5 minutes to get an advert for this other app. So you don't get none of that either, which is absolutely amazing. And it is definitely a first that I've seen in a long time, where you don't get that interference every 5 minutes from a free advert to keep it free. We don't do that because it's technically advertising itself.
Yeah, and yet again, go through the terms and conditions
in the community.
Yeah. Just going to go back to Neil Payne's questions. How about having a review page for the shows and presenters? Yes, we already have that. If you go to our directory section, so it's myspiritualdirectory.com, and you can search for mediums, churches, halls, healers, everything. I say it's all completely free, and under there is a rate and review section, but you have to register to rate and review. And everything, if you join the site and you want to advertise, you have to wait to be approved, because we don't just let anything come on. We make sure you are legitimate, that you are doing your thing, and then you're approved to become a lister. So it is time consuming. It doesn't list every medium out there, because there are thousands. It's only those who are registered. There are other directories out there which have a lot more, but one thing I can say is that our directory is 100% free, and the features that it has holds down anything that else is out there. So.
And I will praise up customer support. Richard mentioned earlier, if you're setting things up and doing things and you get in trouble, give him a shout and he'll talk you through and help you. When I was registering on the directory, I kept getting this really strange message, and I just sent Richard a message saying, Richard, I think I've broken your website. I've done something very bad. Help. And within like 10 minutes, there was a reply and a fix put in place.
Yeah, I said, go away.
And then he told me to buzz off. Because I think it was about midnight. I sent it there ready for him for the morning. Didn't realise he'd be awake. Is the honest truth. But it is an amazing piece of kit, and I do believe that it is a first. And that just that wellness page, I think, is the icing on the cake. I
just have to now think, where am I going to put the healing? Because now you've made more work for me. Because under here, where the spelling mistake is, I suppose I could make those icons smaller and add in healing and remembrance underneath there.
Yeah.
I do it there. I put it under there.
Yes. That is. I love the colour scheme. Colour scheme. It's relaxing. It's healing. It's peaceful. And I just love the fact that all of those images in there, and especially being able to make use of the oracle cards.
Yeah. Have you noticed they're not there? Have you noticed that there's no link on the original app? There's a link to the Divine pack.
Yes.
Much I bring it up now. Sadly, I honestly don't think it's actually going to go ahead, because we haven't reached our target. We've only got until the 12th of December. So therefore, I do apologise that I don't think the cards will be produced and printed to send to everybody. So I'll still keep it going to the 12th. And as soon as the 12th is gone and we haven't reached our target, then I will start sending all the money back to everybody who has kindly put their money forward to pre-order. It's just that it's gonna be time consuming. I personally don't. I know the hosts don't keep asking for people. We don't want to drum it into their heads. And someone made a comment to me the other day that they're a bit fed up hearing it and seeing the adverts all over the place, which is understandable. But the cards were designed by me to help you. But it just shows that people don't want these. Some people do, some people don't. We haven't sold enough to justify spending all this money to purchase the cards. So that's just a pre-warning. So, but if you are interested, just go to sptv.uk/cards, and that's it. But I can't see it's going to be printed, I'm afraid.
And although Richard is glass half empty, I will say, for all those out there who do want them, keep encouraging your friends and sharing it on your feeds. There is an advert that you can share on your own pages if that's something that you'd like to encourage people to do. Like I said, churches may well have a library where they might like to add it to them, and it is coming up to Christmas, and I think they make a beautiful gift. It just means that I'm not getting my birthday present because they were for my birthday.
Never mind.
Right, I believe everybody. Thanks everybody for listening. If anybody got any questions, I haven't seen any.
Thank you for coming on and speaking about the app, Richard. Right. What I will say is that it is very much the community that has driven many of the changes and features that you've added. So Richard means what he says. If you've got any thoughts, please make a comment, send him a message, let him know, because he does listen. He really does. You can see he listens by that amazing piece of kit right there, which is just another string to the bow to the SPTV family's arsenal of love.
Absolutely, and it actually looks really user friendly, because there's a lot of people that are not very au fait. Yes, with technology. So at least they can they've got it there and they can use it, and it's easy to use.
Yes.
So
Google gives a score of the quality of the app out of 34, And I'm going to boast myself here. I've got 27 out of 34.
Oh, well
Hey.
done.
For my first
Well
time, so
done.
it's not bad.
I reckon the new regeneration will push you into the 30s. I really, really do. Because
That's amazing. Amazing. Yeah.
It's
Right.
awesome.
Right, I'm going to say
Richard.
goodbye to everybody. I'm going to roll in with the adverts.
Absolutely. We'll see you after this.
See you after.
The sptv Divine Guidance Oracle Pack, a unique blend of inspiration and artistic beauty. Our captivating set of 78 cards combines the power of ancient archetypes, celestial guidance, and the essence of life itself to provide you with a unique tool for self-discovery, clarity, and transformation, all lovingly housed within an exclusive rigid box. The pack includes a booklet that delves into every card in detail, some of which carry dual meanings for deeper interpretation. The booklet also features 8 distinctive card spread layouts. Among these treasures, you'll discover 22 major arcana, 9 main archangels, 4 elements, and 40 life cards, each a work of art, radiating beauty and delivering profound messages that resonate deeply within your being. The sptv Divine Guidance Pack, where beauty meets enlightenment. Pre-order today and unlock the extraordinary wisdom that awaits you. To be among the pioneers in experiencing our forthcoming collection and to reserve your pack in advance, as well as to access more details, including a sample audio description, kindly visit sptv.uk/cards. Sarah Andrews joins us for her Angel Show from 6 p.m. tonight, offering readings for our viewers and clarification of each angel. Join Minty May live tonight from 8 p.m., offering tarot and mediumship readings to our viewers. Tomorrow from 6 p.m., SPTV Community Showcase offers our viewers the opportunity to have their own show, be it readings, their own thoughts and opinions, etc. Are you looking for some spiritual love or relationship guidance? If so, then join Jennifer Rose tomorrow from 8 p.m.
And we shall continue that conversation later. We are back, and of course, just a quick update and correction to that. Minty May will be at 8:30, not 8. But other than that, absolutely everything. Yeah. So Minty May will be at 8:30. Do tune in and support Minty. He's an amazing guy, delightful man, and we have a comment that Richard would like to speak of. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So Rich is just saying if the cards don't happen, I still feel hope springs eternal.
Yes.
But we do have to be realistic as well. The online pack, Kim Burns says, Richard, isn't there? We could do an online pack. Richard would, if it didn't happen, find a way of doing it where the pack would be accessible either online, on an app, that sort of thing. That one would be a chargeable app though, because the amount of work that Richard has put into the polish on these cards, that there would need to be some kind of recompense, because if he's making cards and making apps, he's not earning money, is he? No. We all have to live. So the app would be a chargeable one, but I also know that he's fair, so it wouldn't cost the earth. But I would just love to hold him in my hand, is the honest truth.
Me too.
I really would. So it's up to us to do something about it. Encourage people, cajole people. Don't twist their arm and don't force them, but encourage gently people to place an order. But yeah, I think they are beautiful cards, and there is an absolute huge amount of work going to. Look, I do a not in any scale. I do a daily card as part of something I do, and I've kind of made use of AI to do stuff like that. Richard got there first. But the amount of work that still goes into that is huge. And that's just one a day. Richard's done 78, 78 cards. That's a lot of work as, you know, and plus there's the designing and the booklet, which is about 90 pages. Didn't you say, Richard? 90-page booklet as well. You know, so it's a huge amount of work. And I just think it doesn't get the recognition of the detail in there that it should. So there we are. That's just my opinion. And so yes,
I second your opinion there as well. So there you go.
It's huge because AI isn't perfect when it comes to drawing pictures. Anyone who's dabbled will know that 3 pairs of hands and 15 fingers on each hand is a given sometimes. So working around that is a lot of effort. Yeah, I think we got Scylla coming through.
Do you know what? You seem to be going off in a different accent there, Nick.
I know, a lot. But thank you all for your patience, and thank you all for those that have supported it. And of course, a reminder once again, absolutely, that Minty May will be at 8:30, not 8. Now, speaking of things coming up and adverts, Saturday night is the night. There is going to be on SPTV, hosted by SPTV and channeling all the way through the resources of the internet. There's going to be a paranormal group investigating live from Canada on SPTV on Saturday night. And I have the joy and privilege to have been asked to host on the behalf, with Richard whispering in my ear and me talking to that wonderful SPTV family. So Saturday night, make yourself available because there's 8 o'clock. There's going to be a paranormal investigation all the way from Canada.
Whereabouts in Canada? Do you know?
I don't actually know whereabouts in Canada. And Richard knows, but he just can't remember at the moment. But I'm sure it will be advertised through it. And it is one of the largest paranormal groups in Canada. It's going to be amazing. And you know, it's one of those moments where you think, oh wow, I'm going to be part of history. It's you know, just sitting there, you know, communicating between us and them, so to speak, on behalf of the SPTV family is just amazing. And I think it's going to be awesome. I've never been on a paranormal investigation before.
Wow, how exciting! Do you know what, Nick? Neither have I.
Yeah.
No. So we've got apps, paranormal investigations, Minty May, oracle cards. You know, we've got everything
full
on
week.
here.
Full week, as always. Always.
Wow.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So
Fabulous.
Do stay tuned, everyone, for adverts up and coming about that. And of course, I haven't said it this week yet, so I'm gonna. If you haven't become a VIP for 37p, it's an amazing extra bow if you want to, contribute to the upkeep of SPTV. You can become a VIP, and there's extra features, extra functions, and bits added in that are VIP exclusive, just as a way of saying thank you.
Wonderful.
So shall we see if there are some more spirit people wandering around the ether waiting for me to shut up?
Yes, we can do that.
There you go, Chrissy. I thought I'd get there first.
Oh, dear. It's all happening today, isn't it? I don't know. Okay, right. Let's just see who I've got here. I'm aware of a gentleman here. And I can't see any comments, by the way, Richard. I don't know why.
We're seeing ourselves.
We're seeing ourselves. So
we don't know what you've been saying.
Okay, I've got a gentleman here, and I know that he's quite a lovely, cuddly man, and I also feel his father, and I know that he worked with his hands, and I think it was machinery because I can smell oil. And it was either where he took took bits and pieces apart and sorted them out and put them back together again. He, whereas our Richard wants to get things absolutely spot on, making sure that everything's tickety-boo, this gentleman did the same. He was a perfectionist, and he's always had his, I feel that he's just got that smell of oil here. So I just feel that he would have worked in engineering or mechanics, and he's got a cracking sense of humour, and there's a slight accent to his voice, but I'm not quite sure where the accent comes yet, but I know there's an accent, and I think it's a northern accent. So would anybody understand this gentleman? I do feel he's father, but I could have got the relationship one. Okay, so let's just see. Okay, I just feel that it is father. So let's just see if anybody can understand this. Who can understand that? Oh, you. Okay, Richard's just said he could understand this, but he can't understand most of it, but not the large build. Okay. So let's just see if anybody else can. Let me just carry on. I do feel he would have liked his downtime, this gentleman, and I feel that when he came home, that was it. I do feel he learnt about sort of like having time for things, and I think he had to switch off. He was a very giving gentleman. He would do everything for anybody. But I do think that there was a time in his life where he had to sort of like say enough's enough. And when he shut the door, he wanted to spend time with his family. So Shelley can understand that. Can you still understand this, Richard? You can. Okay. All right then. So I'll carry on. Would you also understand? I'm hearing the name of Peter connected, not necessarily his name, but I know that Peter is connected, and I think you wouldn't understand that. Okay, I think Peter might have been a friend of his or a brother, because I just feel that Peter is connected. So you can't understand that. Can anybody else understand what I've said so far? He's got a bit of a cheeky laugh as well. What's the matter? Does this make sense to you, Nick?
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm sitting here linking in and connecting to because I'm getting ready to work.
Your mum's put up. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, of course. Duh.
Okay.
Wow. Hello.
All right. Well, Linda, if you can listen as well, because
it makes a change. I usually have to do it to her, so it's good payback.
He's got a real cheeky laugh, and it's like I want to go like a bit.
The Muttley laugh, yes. That's what I used to call him, Muttley.
And I just saw the cartoon Muttley where it's like that. Yeah. That's what I feel. And he was, I don't know, he's just such a lovely guy. He really is. And I'm getting a bit emotional now. Would you understand a ring that he would have worn on that finger? Would you understand a ring that is connected? And I just feel that when he worked with his hands with all this muck and oil, he's got it right. He would come in, get himself all sorted, but I'm getting the smell of an aftershave, and it reminds me of what my dad used to wear, and it's like Aramis or Paco Rabanne, something like that. Yeah. And I feel that either you or your mum would have bought him this for Christmas and birthdays.
Yes,
and
frequently.
I also feel that your mum would have had his aftershave, and there was still been some left after he passed, and I think she sprays it, or you could still, I don't know if you smelt it, but I just feel that it sprayed, or you could smell it, because you'd walk into a room and it was still there. Yes. He was a very smart man when he went out, and he did look very dapper in a suit, I want to say. And I know that you did the remembrance on Sunday, but that would have been very important to him. And also, okay, right. you still have his wallet, Nick, or there's his wallet, and in the
Yes.
wallet there is something, a card, some sort of membership card or something that's still in this wallet. And there's certain things that your mum's still got that she can't get rid of yet, and they're in a
Yes,
drawer.
absolutely.
And there's cards, and there's letters that correspondence things, they're memory things. There's
Yes.
tickets there, because I feel they've still got cinema tickets and railway tickets that they had when they first started dating. And they're showing me this beautiful flower. It's a white. I don't know if it's like a narcissi or daffodils. Something about daffodils.
Yes.
You understand that? But it's white with it's the reverse of the daffodil. It's the white and the yellow inside. And he's just sending you so much love. And he just wants to be around your mum in particular at the moment. And he's also drawing attention to some sort of, it's a shield. It's one of those shields with like a something that he won. You know, like plaque. It's a plaque, but it's got a little
Yes.
stand. It's got a little stand, and it's something that he won. And
Yes.
okay. And I also feel, now he's showing me where I used to go. I'm in Trafalgar Square. So I feel a trip to Trafalgar Square is very important. And I feel that you were a little boy, and it's when you could feed the pigeons. You can't feed them now, but it's when you could feed the pigeons. And I'm in Trafalgar Square, and I'm looking at the art galleries. So I feel he would have liked to have gone to galleries or museums with you.
That would be more me. The trip to London is very, very significant.
Okay.
So I fully understand what that is, and I will validate it for you afterwards.
Okay. Would you understand a bike as well? Would you understand an old push bike? It looks like one of those old-fashioned bikes that they used to use to deliver.
Sit up and beg.
Yeah.
That's a sit up and beg bike.
I feel that he would have mended things, Nick. He would have put things back together again, and they would have been absolutely pristine. One more thing before I go, something about him polishing a car. I feel that his car always looked absolutely pristine. And I saw an old car the other day that looked absolutely pristine. So I don't know if this car was an MG or something about an MG car. Would you understand an MG car?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I really, really would.
So take his love. Take his love.
Bless you. Thank you. I wasn't expecting that. There I was sitting, linking in, and trying to get into the mode. And yeah, absolutely, that was the name Pete. It all makes sense now. I've come back to myself. I've got to say, remembrance was important, yes, but what you wouldn't know is that my dad was in the police force for 35 years.
Right.
He got a long service medal, which I did wear for him on remembrance.
Right.
However, the last time he wore it officially was just before he retired, when he took a trip to London and laid the wreath for Cambridge Chicken Stablery at the Cenotaph, and had a wander around all of that particular area, and including having a bit of a trip around Trafalgar Square with mum and everything. And that is a really significant memory. And yes, everyone used to take the mick about his car, how polished it always was. People would joke that he cleaned it more than he drove it. I never saw it very often with any dirt on whatsoever. And yeah, you nailed him 100%. Well done to mum for spotting it, because I was off linking in. But yeah, even the name Pete, yes, that connects in. That was his brother-in-law. Plus there is another Pete that he worked with as well. And my earliest memory of Dad, he worked in a boiler house.
Right. And
my earliest memory of him was that smell of oil in the boiler house. So yes, absolutely. Thank you. I really wasn't expecting that. And mum's happy too. Right, I better give myself
my pleasure, Linda. My pleasure.
Wow. So let's see who else is about. It's funny because obviously I did start listening to you, and I was thinking, Oh, a father figure. I wonder if my dad's about. So let me see.
Yes.
Right. As I could, thank you. That's better. Oh, okay. Slow down a bit. I'm slowing down now. Everyone will be glad of that. This person coming through is a much more subtle, subdued character than either myself or my father. I do know that there would have been a heart condition because I had that instant kick in there. So I know that there would have been a heart condition with this gentleman. I know that this gentleman was a much calmer, but I do know that his illness and however he was before he passed would have slowed him down, would have even, I do even get there's a slurring of speech and a slowing down of speech, but it was like a slow and steady progression rather than something really quickly, because he was always a very deliberate man. And I've got to use that word there. He was a deliberate man. I do feel a very gravelly voice, because I can always tell when I start sounding a bit more butch, that there is this gravelly voice with this gentleman. But in spite of all of that, there is this absolute determination, an absolute certainty about whatever he was doing, whatever he wanted, whatever he dealt with, was always so absolutely certain and absolutely deliberate. Can anyone understand a gentleman like this? I'm not actually feeling a father figure. I was going to say father figure originally, but obviously, you know, there's that connection with dad there that was probably Jane can take everything. Can you, Jane, if O'Rourke, if you can understand? Oh, sorry, that's a previous message. Can anyone understand this gentleman coming through? Yeah, Peter. So if anyone can understand that, please shout out, because he's such a nice guy. Once again, this very is that one of Adam? My granddad was Adam Walker. If this is for you, just give us a nod again, just because I've been getting confused. I do know there would have been easy confusion towards the end, but it wasn't. It was not a big problem, in the sense that he was very good at covering up what was going on. And it was because of his deliberate and paced approach to speaking. The reason he keeps going on about this is because whoever I'm coming to has to learn a trick or two from him, and he is starting to get a bit faster now. So I know he's coming back to more himself rather than reflecting his passing. And there is, thank you, Adam. Yes, it's about learning from him this state of, again, that word that I used earlier, a state of serenity and pace when it comes to speaking. About, he hid it from you, bless you. I'm not talking about hiding things from people. He doesn't want you to learn that, and he realizes the error of his ways. But you making use of his deliberate, paced approach to speaking. You know, one of the things, believe it or not, I know people wouldn't believe it, and he's reminding me of this for a reason, I'm sure. When I was younger, I used to stutter. Right up until my late teens, I was a stutterer. And I had to get round that by learning to slow down my pace and calm my pace. And he's saying that's really, really useful for many different things, be it speech, be it speaking in public, but also when dealing with people we're not so sure of, Adam. And I had to say it quite like that. So I think that's where he's pointing you to. Slow it down. think about it, be more paced, because he just wants you to fly. He wants you to succeed. And yes, we've acknowledged that he was hiding things. That's one thing that he doesn't want you to take after him for, but just his illness. Yeah. But he wants you to learn from him that thing about pace, that thing about contemplation, and just about taking your time. Whatever is going on around at you at the moment, Adam, I know he wants you to succeed, and he wants you to be amazing, and he wants you to succeed by being paced and taking time and being about caution, because this was, you know, at the heart of him, who he was. Bless you. Yes, of course. That would make sense now, about that patience and that taking of time and being paced with public speaking. You know, I can rattle it off 10 to the dozen now, because I got through that barrier. And once again, he's telling me to say this because I feel it applies to you. There seems to be some kind of barrier to you at the moment, and that might not be to do with your mediumship, don't get me wrong. I know that we all end up finding one or two of them on our journey, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what he's on about. But whatever is a barrier to you at the moment can be overcome. Thank you. You get that? You can overcome that barrier by being paced. He's such a lovely guy to work with, you know, for many reasons, and they're always different reasons. But the reason I'm enjoying working with him is because of his care and attention to the detail of the moment, and wanting to use examples. He wouldn't be the kind of person that would just say, do this, do this, do this. He'd want to validate what he's saying with a reason. And this is something that you do take after him with. I get the impression from what he's giving me is that you are a validator, but he says, don't obsess. And I feel that this is a wonderful way of coming full loop as to what we were talking about earlier, actually, because he's been listening. He's obviously been waiting in the wings all day. And we were talking earlier to an extent about the obsessiveness of spirit, and how people often, you know, allow it to take over their lives so that they don't live it. And he's saying, you know, you are able to differentiate between the two and still live. And he's so proud of you for that. But once again, he's able. Learning training was a big, yeah. And it will continue to always be a learning curve, that thing called life. And I got to say, I keep, even though I'd removed the feelings of physicality, I've got my hand here like this. And I'm aware that it's the correct side for what I was showing earlier. There's something far more weighted there for him, and I do know that there was a great deal of compassion. Thank you. That's why he came through, because we were talking about the medals and remembrance. So I know that he carries with him a heavy remembrance. And I've got to use those words precisely. He carries with him a heavy remembrance, and there is something so important to him there about remembrance, that he was it's almost like he felt the weight of something, and it wasn't always a medal, there all the time. And I'm not going to push him on that one, because I know that such things are not spoken of very often and in public, and he's giving me that reminder and that impression. So I'm going to leave that one there, but with that emphasis, so you would know that there was something really important to do with that was ingrained and purely emotional for him. But I am going to leave his love and support with you, Adam. I know he's a big fan of your work, because he I kept looking, when I said about weight, I kept looking at Uncle Tom's. Normandy, 1944. He was in Normandy.
Oh, wow.
And
Oh,
yeah, my Uncle Tom was there too, and I wore his medal for him too. And so I understand, Adam, the weight. And you used to go to, there is so many similarities between yourself and myself, Adam. That is why I was becoming confused with, this sounds like me. But what I do know is I can be, by being given that, by being told that, by being shown that, what I can say to you, Adam, with absolute conviction on behalf of your grandfather is this: stop doubting yourself. Stop feeling that you are unworthy, because you are. Fight the good fight. Speak your truth. Never give up and never give an inch. And you are so much better than you give yourself credit for. It is something that you will have to learn to come to terms with over time. But I know you can do it, because he's with you every step of the way. I will say God bless you and thank you for listening.
oh, that was wonderful, Nick. What a beautiful message for Adam. That was lovely.
He kept,
You know what?
I just got to say, because this is the way they make use of stuff on my table.
Yeah,
He
I
kept
know.
comparing the medals, and he's saying, I'm not detracting, but look at that one. Look at that one. I was like,
Yeah,
and it was
Yeah.
just showing that emotional weight of that something deeper. And Normandy was deep, you know.
absolutely. Do you know what? I know we're coming to time, but that's what I say to people. You know, don't close your eyes when you work, because the spirit world will use things that you've got all around you to draw your attention to it, because they're trying to show you what was important to them. You know.
Yeah.
And that was beautiful, and that was just a case in point. He was, and he would know that you would know what all that was about, and how much it meant to you was the same as what it meant to Adam. So yeah, so much emotion. Fabulous. Yeah.
As I often say, there is always time for remembrance, not just once a year, and not just about battles, but also about sacrifice and strength and courage and the need to make the world a better place. And I don't think we make nearly enough time for that.
Yeah, and you got lots of kisses there from Adam, which was lovely. So,
God bless to you all, and thank you all today for being with us on this hugely wild journey. From sorry, what was that, Richard? You broke up. Yes. So to remind everybody, the lovely Sarah and her angel readings will be with us at 6 tonight. You have got the beautiful Minty May coming on at 8:30. Thank you all for being with us today. And thank you to Richard. We got to hear his voice again.
We did, and we're going to see this wonderful app. And well, I think it's been quite an emotional morning.
Yeah.
You know, it has, with the topics, with the questions, with the readings. And it just goes to show how special this channel is. And I certainly love being part of it, and meeting and being part of this lovely family. And I so look forward to my Monday mornings and to spend it with you as well, Nick.
And you too, my darling. It is an absolute pleasure to spend my Monday morning brightening myself as well as the day with the lovely Karen, with the lovely Richard, and the beautiful SPTV family.
Absolutely.
We're going to shut up now, because Richard will accuse me of waffling if I don't be careful. Because we've always got to end on a joke, let's be honest. Bring the vibrations up. And if it's self-deprecation, even better. So from me, it's God bless and goodbye.
And the same from me. And we'll see you next week, same time, same channel, SPTV. Thank you all for being with us.
Oh, we've got to keep going for another 30 seconds, apparently, because then we'll be literally on 2 hours. So can we keep talking for another 30 seconds?
Oh, I think we can. We're not ones to shut up, are we?
Gonna say, it will shut off exactly on 2 hours, because he wants to have it dead on 2 hours. But Chrissy, this one's for you. I'm still talking and I will continue forever.
Night, night, Clara.